episode of Empire's Finest, part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast Network. I'm your host, Adam Krieger. As always, my left, your right, my co-host, Anthony Fontanello. Ant, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, same shit, different day, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming off a very, very great weekend. 4th of July. It was a very eventful weekend, especially for us in this show. So we're kind of just going to start right there. We were last recorded Wednesday night. The show came out Thursday. We placed our Subway Series wager. But before we even get to that, I do want to mention that night, Wednesday night, was probably the worst night in both of our teams' franchise history. Because the Yankees put up a 7 spot on Shohei and then lost after like a 20-hour rain delay at like 1:30 in the morning.
I was talking like we won the game the entire episode.
So funny, especially looking back on it. And then I kind of teased this a little bit at the end of the episode when I was going on my Steve Cohen rant, but the Mets ended up losing 20-2 that game. And so both teams were at tipping points, and it could have gone poorly for both teams. Luckily, it was like a immovable force versus I don't know, whatever the fucking phrase is. But whatever. Mets and Yankees both had their worst loss of the year, meeting in the stadium. How'd that go, Anthony? I'll let you go from your perspective first.
Oh, from our perspective, it was an absolute shit show. It was horrible. I mean, you can't trust Chapman to close games anymore. It's like he just doesn't have it at all. Cole, we need to find a way to get him some spider tack quick, or else this contract is going to be fucking terrible. Like, I don't know. We got to get somebody on that. Figure out how to get him spider tack without getting caught. I'm glad they won the game that we went to, although I barely got to see anything because by the time I got into the stadium, it was already, I believe, the bottom of the tail end of the bottom of the second. Like, as I walked in, Gio Urshela hit a 3-run home run, and I was like, oh, great, glad. And that was really all the offense. I was like, great, glad I missed all of the offense because we only scored one more time, but that was from our MVP, the wild pitch.
You want to start with Friday, or you want to go? Was Friday the rain out?
Friday was the rain out, which kind of screwed up everything. But yeah, we can go on Friday of how they were trying to get that game in and just never happened. And they make these doubleheaders. Honestly, is really bothering me about these doubleheaders. They should just straight up like postpone the game for like an off day at some point in the future, because these doubleheaders are really killing me. Just like it's crap. Honestly, I'm gonna be frank with you. It's crap. A 7-inning doubleheader, and Sunday when me and you we went. The way I got there was just atrocious. I had someone drive. I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to even take a car in there at all.
I told you this right away. I told you.
Oh, believe me, I know. I wanted to take the train. My boy didn't want to listen. I said, okay, you'll see how it is. And it took us forever to park. It took us forever to get in the stadium because there was a big delay
getting into Yankee Stadium was
the first game.
Absolute worst. Oh, is that what the reason was?
Yeah, that was because the first game went like an extra 30 minutes. Yeah,
it was atrocious. I got there at probably 6:25, and I barely was at my seat by first pitch. Barely. Half hour of fucking waiting in that line outside. It was disgusting. The Mets fans with me. First of all, that stadium was loud, and it was not for the Yankees. When Pete hit that homer in the top of the 7th at Game 1 of the doubleheader, that place erupted, and it was because the Yankees blew a lead and the Mets had taken the lead. I was shocked.
Yeah, because Yankee fans have flat out given up on this team. Like the ones that do show up, or I don't even know what they're there. I went and I made these plans to go like about 2 months in advance when I didn't think the team was that bad. Then as it's closing in on this time, I'm I barely even want to go, but I'm still gonna go. Yankee fans are giving up on this team, and I mean.
It was the opposite situation for me. I wasn't planning on going until January to July 1st, 2nd. I was this is different. Subway Series that normally we just the Mets get get the shit kicked out of them by the Yankees. If we get one game, we feel happy. But this was if the Mets wanted to prove they were legit. They thought they had to beat a legit team. Too bad the Yankees are the furthest thing from that. I'm walking away $100 richer, and so the next question is red or black, Anthony. What do we like? What is it going on, red or black?
We're gonna throw it on red just because I looked up and seen a commercial with the color red all over it. We're throwing it on red.
But so the doubleheader thing, I was wrong about this initially. I was all about the 7 inning doubleheaders. I loved it. I loved it selfishly as a Mets fan because I get to have a quality starting pitcher go 6 out of the 7 innings, if that. But the Mets are in the middle of, I'm pretty sure, their 5th or 6th doubleheader at the moment. So 12 games, 2 innings off each game. They've already played basically 3 less games out of 162. Like that's a big difference. I don't know. The Mets have walked off in every single home opener doubleheader, which is a weird fact that Gary Cohen shared today. But it's just I don't love it. I hate the extra inning rule, and then especially as a fan perspective, like I hated going to an only 7 inning game because I thought the Mets just had, if they had 2 more innings, there's a chance that they win.
It's like, and also the thing about these doubleheaders, and like back in the day, I feel like we saw a lot more doubleheader sweeps. I feel like these 7 inning doubleheaders, like nobody's getting swept anymore. Like it's just like a wash of a day because you're just trading wins.
It depends on like the starting pitcher too. Like if you get a dominant starting pitcher,
of course,
you take that 10 out of 10. But like, yeah, I agree. Especially when you get to these bullpens early, and then you're seeing the shitty half of these bullpens because you need them in 2 games. But I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. The first game on Sunday where Cole's just absolute stinker and meltdown in the 4th inning. During that game when Chad Green came out through 2 pitches, and then they go and put Chapman in. I knew I knew right away the game was over. I said, "You're putting Chapman in with a 1-run lead." I knew it. And then I didn't realize who was leading off the inning until they showed it, and then I was like, Pete Alonso. I said, "Yo, this guy's going deep." I said he's going deep, and that's exactly what happened. Chapman has like absolutely pissed me off like so much, and I'm glad that the second game, Boone realized that I don't trust anybody else in that bullpen, so I'm gonna throw Chad Green out there for 3 innings.
Had an immaculate inning too. An immaculate inning.
Yeah, and with an immaculate inning in the middle of it, and Chad Green just basically mowed down the Mets for 3 innings, and it was lovely. It was actually wonderful to see that we got a pitcher that can throw strikes, because after watching Chapman and Cole walk the bases loaded, fucking start after start, and Chapman day after day, it gets a little annoying.
But the best part about Sunday for me was after the Mets win, this team, they don't quit, they rally, they score, they win. Blown save after blown save. In the middle, we're blessed by getting the All-Star announcements. There were 3 players in this game. 3 players on both teams that were selected to All-Star. Of course, one of them, Jacob deGrom, the king, the GOAT, probably the future MVP, and definitely the Cy Young Award winner this year. Garrett Cole and Aroldis Chapman. Now, they had 2 very different days on Sunday. Chapman, of course, blew the lead, and then Cole looked like a fish out of water without his spider tack trying to pitch. When do you stop watching? When do you put in when does Anthony Fontenot quit on this team?
Like fully quit?
Like no longer watch quit. Like no longer waste your time with the team.
Oh, that's a let's see. I know they are 4.5 out of the second wild card spot. So when it falls, if they end up falling to if they fall like 9 or 10 out of the wild card spot, that's probably when I'm going to be like done. And Like with individual players, I know that day's approaching. With individual players, that day is going to come a lot sooner. Like Garrett Cole, the honeymoon phase lasted half a season because that shit is so over with. Dude, you played your two biggest rivals as a Yankee and just gave us two big stinkers. Like Garrett Cole is gotta like figure something out because he's on the verge of like getting freaking kicked out of town. And like I'm not even kidding. Like obviously I kicked out of town because we now owe him a shit ton of money. Like yes, another contract that now I am scared about because they take away the spider tack and you think that he can work without it because the first game without it against the Twins, he actually had a really good game. It was like 7 innings, like 2 runs. And I was like, okay, so like he's maybe not going to strike out 12 guys a game, but if teams still can't score, I don't care. That clearly has not happened. He's just been getting knocked around by everybody, and like it's not even the problem getting knocked around. Like against the Mets, the Mets didn't have to swing the bat in the 4th inning. He walked the bases loaded, and then just single. Next thing you know, the game's tied. It's like,
and the Mets are like the second to last team in the National League in run scored. They don't score runs. They just don't do it.
Yeah.
And then the Yankees just fix them.
They don't score runs. God bless you. And we let the Mets score. What was it? 10, 15. We let the Mets score 17 runs in basically like 2.5 games.
23 innings. Love it.
23 innings. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
The second to worst team offensive wise in baseball. And I guess while we're on the topic, like the Mets are clearly going to be buyers this deadline. Obviously, the Yankees say they're still going to be sellers. We don't really. I mean, the Yankees say they're not selling, but no one actually knows. And if it keeps going this way, I mean, the All-Star breaks next weekend, or they're in their like final series. It's coming up, so we're gonna see where things shake out. Basically, the halfway point, but the Mets are going to need like someone to hit a home runs, and you would think that their home run derby player would be able to do it, but Pete Alonso just has not been hitting home runs this year. They're gonna have to find something. Maybe they get Chris Bryant from the Cubs. They fucking are a disaster right now too. They've lost like 12 straight.
Yeah, I've been hearing that almost all year long.
But I mean, the Cubs started out so hot, and then they looked like they were going to contend for a second, and then I think they've lost like now 12 in a row. I've been seeing David Ross rumblings on Twitter that they want him gone. I think that's probably a mistake, but what do I know? I want to fire Luis Rojas after a game. When they fired the hitting coaches, I thought they should have fired Luis Rojas, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, the Mets are definitely in place to be buyers. I mean, they're going to go into the All-Star break in first place in the NL East. I tell you, from the Yankee side of it, I personally think this team should sell no matter how far back you are the wild card race, because who the fuck cares?
Like, I don't know who on the Yankees would be like who anyone would want. The answer would have been Chapman, because a quality closer or a quality arm in the pen from playoffs is valuable.
Now we need Chapman to go and like put together like 10 straight saves, like for us to sell him. Just to boost his value. I'm thinking any guys that people would want that we could part with. Urshela. I mean, personally, I don't think anybody on this team is untouchable. I'm just trying to think of guys that would give us a good return. Or I know Urshela would. Yankee fans might come after me for this, but I think if for the right package, Judge should be considered.
They're not. No one's getting rid of Judge, Anthony. Use your brain. No one's getting rid of him. They call the fucking Judge's chambers in right field. They built like a multi-million-dollar marketing field around that. Who are you gonna put there, Stanton? The dude who can't play outfield anymore?
Him, you're gonna have to either just eat the money or like work out some sort of deal where you can trade him away and not have to pay all of it, but most of it. I mean, Stanton is just like, what did Brian Cashman think? That he was gonna get Giancarlo Stanton in here and he wasn't gonna want to, and he wasn't just gonna end up playing DH the whole time. I'm sorry, like I know that the American League has DH, but like we honestly need that spot for when they want to give Gary Sanchez like a night off behind the plate. And I'm not talking Garrett Cole whenever Garrett Cole starts games. Let me not diverge yet, but it screws our whole lineup up when we can't like interchange our DH. When our DH is Giancarlo Stanton night in and night out. It's like we can't even give guys half days off because Stanton just clogs the DH spot. He can't play the field. It's actually pretty ridiculous. And another thing on Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's got to stop being a little bitch, honestly. He's got to stop crying and fucking just pitch to Gary because you clearly haven't been much better with Kyle Higashioka.
You're
and
wrong.
Now you're just taking our hot one of our hot bats out of the lineup just for being a selfish guy.
You give your star pitcher whatever he wants. That's on Boone and Cashman for letting Stanton not play right field. Because in that situation, you want your pitcher, your ace pitcher, pitching to the guy that he wants. DeGrom gets Nito when he wants. Like when his ERA and Nito starts is under 1.
DeGrom has also done a lot more for the Mets than Cole has done for the Yankees. I think you earn that stuff. I don't think you just get given it the second you walk, especially after the performances that he's put up the past couple of weeks. I'm sorry, but you're gonna need to stop babying the guy and tell him straight to his face you're gonna pitch to Gary, and that is what it is because you clearly haven't been doing much better with Kyle.
You're placing blame on the wrong guy here. The blame should be on Stan for being too big of an idiot to play right field because then you could get exactly what you want. You get Cole to have the pitch the guy they want to do because Gary's a shitty catcher. There's no two ways about it, and you want your best pitcher to be with a good catcher. And you could sacrifice that bat in the National League. That's not an issue. Like McCann don't play. Like that's fine. It is what it is. You get a personal catcher. That's fine. And that's not like a new thing. It's not just a Garrett Cole thing. But in the American League, that should be perfect because you get if you have a situation like the Yankees where you have a hitting catcher, which is a very few and far between in the MLB, you slide him into the DH. But it's because Stanton's legs don't work anymore. He used to be one of the best right fielders in baseball. Have a cannon, could trap fly balls. Now, what? I don't get it.
The dude is clearly he's been watching too many bodybuilding videos and thinks that he's fucking Ronnie Coleman when he should really just Don't even get me started on Boone.
Does he make the year?
Of course he's going to make the year because they don't have the balls to fire him mid-year. I mean, it's like what Cashman never talks about, right? Is that we don't make any changes mid-year and blah 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 blah. Like the waste of time it was for Hal to go on a Zoom conference and talk about how, people don't understand that when my father was around, a lot of the rash decisions he made weren't really the best ones. I was like, bro, just shut the hell up.
One of them produced World Series, the other one didn't.
I mean, seriously, dude. It's like one of them ended up getting you a very, very good dynasty from the mid 90s up until basically 2009. I mean, you had a damn good team for a really long time, going 5 World Series. I mean, there's really not much more you could ask for. I mean, in my opinion, I think George did a great job and fired people when they deserve to be fired. And Hal just sits there on his fucking hands and acts like he knows better than everybody. And also lets Cashman just walk on water. Like Cashman is safe from everything, even though the team he built is clearly flawed and just absolute garbage against the really, really good teams in the MLB. But they don't really care.
Regardless on if this stuff even were to get published, I love this. I love watching Yankee fans be fucking suffer because it's where I live my entire life. I had my face rubbed in it my entire life by all my friends. All of my friends are Yankee fans, and they all just told me how shitty my team was. And now you get a little bit of taste of what the Mets fandom is like, and I'm just gonna soak up every second of it. Even if this podcast never would be released, this Zoom don't go out. This conversation just stayed right here, I'd still be just as happy because I just love seeing the Yankees fans suffer. Last thing on the Yankees and I guess the Subway Series before we move on. what makes you angrier, the Mets succeeding or the Red Sox just leapfrogging over the Yankees? Because one of them is like one of them's at home, and then the other one's like you're like longtime rivals.
It's definitely the Red Sox. Like if the Mets do good, I don't really like. I'm not really mad if the Mets do good. I'm mad if the Red Sox do good because I hate them. Like I really do. But no, I'm not. I'm not one of those Yankee fans that just wants the Mets to lose. Like I mean they can like if they win, it wouldn't really bother me. I'll put it that way. Like I mean I got a lot of Met fan friends, and I mean they've been suffering for a long time. Like I really wouldn't mind if they won. I wouldn't mind if they won a World Series. I really wouldn't.
Anything else in the Yankees before we move on? I mean, I know you can do another 45 minutes of this, but
yeah, I probably could, but I don't want to bore anyone. I think I said what I had to say for now, and we'll see we'll see where they are after the All-Star break, and see if I'm gonna be in like full freak out mode, which I probably will be because I know that they're gonna suck.
All right, we got a little programming note. We mentioned it last weekend, but we finally got our shit together, did what we had to do. We are on socials, and you'll see these clips now going forward. On Twitter, it's Empire's Finest, but the I in Empire is a 1, so it's EMP1RE S Finest. That's on Twitter. Instagram is Empire's Finest as well, except the I in Finest is the 1. So we'll be able to keep track of that. I'm sure that won't be a pain in the ass down the road, but it is what it is. Getting these social handles is difficult, but whatever. It is what it is. Make sure you follow us on those. We're going to be doing a lot of show content there. Getting some clips out. Probably do some sort of giveaways. We'll figure some stuff out. But just a little programming note. So if you're listening, follow us on those. Also, I guess while we're doing the follows, we could just do all this now. You can follow myself at Adam Krieger 1997. Follow Anthony at AntFont1, Ant_Font1, right? Or yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah, I got that right. 3 episodes down it took me. I guess a little other programming note just before we move on to the NBA and whatever else we do end up talking about. As you can probably tell, I got a big fucking microphone swinging around. So if my audio sucks, I'm sorry. I got home this past weekend and I found out that my headset was broken. Snapped the tip clean off. So that was super annoying. But it enabled me to get a cool mic. I feel like kind of legit. I don't know how I feel about it yet, though. We'll figure it out once the sound comes in. I wish I could hear myself, but it's just egotistical, man. Make sure I don't sound like an idiot. But so if this is a pain in the ass, I'm sorry. I'll know it when we edit it. But as far as I can tell, everything's going to be good. So, and then one other quick thing, just huge shout out to Hunter. Hunter's kind of going to be half on the Empire's Finest team. I'm not going to take him completely. And he's a Vendetta intern. He's jumping on board the pirate ship. But for now, he's going to be working on Empire's Finest, getting some clips up, and just helping us out. So shout out Hunter. He made a really cool edit that's going to go out. And then the other thing that Hunter and I were working on is that we're going to, at the end of each month, we're going to put up like a best of. And so probably 5-10 minutes from each episode, throw it together, whether we do it every month or every 3 months, something like that. But just hop around a little bit, especially since we started this right in the middle of baseball season. You're going to get to see our life as baseball fans, especially come October when sports get crazy. But yeah, all right, that's all the programming shit I have to say.
All right, so we will. What do you want to get into now? The NBA? Go and talk NBA.
Yeah,
NBA finals.
We could do some NBA. Before we, this isn't like before I get to, this is before we get the actual like games and everything. But like, what's with your boy making like CP3's final all about himself? Like, you think LeBron's gonna be on the float or what?
Not gonna lie, if I see LeBron on the fucking Phoenix Suns float, I'll be like, bro, just fucking retire, dude. Get the fuck away from
me. It's really insane. Like, I get that they're friends, and I think everyone's happy for CP3, but I think, like, to a certain extent, like, if you're a fan of LeBron, like I know Anthony is, if you're a fan of the Lakers specifically, and maybe not less of a fan of LeBron, more a fan of the Lakers, I think is the kind of the category you fall into. I would be pissed if I saw him like supporting the Suns, like the team that is probably going to run the West for a little bit now, because they seem to be pretty built. You know, as long as CP3 is around, this team looks like it's going to be able to do some damage for the next few years on the road. And then LeBron's just like rooting for
him. See, like, I'll sit here and I'll say, like, I'm happy for CP3, whatever. Like if he ends up winning his first ring, that'd be great. I mean, it's been a long career and he hasn't even he's barely sniffed the finals. So whatever. But like, I know him and LeBron are friends, so it does bother me like a little bit that he's like rooting for him like so much. But at the same time, as long as I don't see LeBron on any fucking Phoenix Suns float or hanging out with Chris Paul with the trophy, I'm like, dude, just like why don't you go rest up and win the Lakers one more next year, and then you can be on your merry way, and we can all be happy that you were a Laker because you won us 2 championships. But the one is nice, but we would like 2.
You'd like one more? I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Before we actually get into the basketball, I can't believe I forgot to say this, but and I haven't even told you this yet, but like, quick shout out, Lexi Martin's one of Irvington's finest. She taught LeBron a yoga class this weekend. All of a sudden I get a text from my boy and it's a screenshot of him FaceTiming his sister, and it's literally him and LeBron just having a full conversation. He rented out her yoga studio, took her class, said kick LeBron's ass. That's kind of funny. Just shout out Lexi Martin, shout out the Martin.
That's pretty funny.
He's back in Cleveland. He's training. He's doing yoga. Just a small world. Somehow shit like that happens. All right, into the actual basketball. Suns ran him out of the building last night. Giannis did come back, but relatively ineffective because of who when he's not 100%, his game is different, because the only way you can get away with being not 100% and doing well in the NBA is if you can shoot, and that's clearly not one of Giannis' strong suits. So Suns kind of took the game one relatively easily. I was on a live stream last night with Jackson, your former co-host, host of Tandemonium. So we weren't really talking much basketball, but I did watch the game. DeAndre Ayton's a bad man.
Yeah, no, DeAndre Ayton did very well last night for his first finals game. I thought a lot of the guys on the Suns did very well for their first finals game. But you know what really is one thing that I just was getting a little annoyed about was that like they all these media outlets and like ESPN like covering the game, and they were all kept talking about how no one on any side of finals experience except for Jay Crowder, but none of them won any. I'm like, you know what? If you know that the other team has no finals experience, you have no finals experience. Like, what does that have to do with anything in the game? It's really just going to be a regular game at that point.
Like, Jay Crowder, Vendetta legend.
Vendetta legend, Jay Crowder.
So, yeah, I guess that is a good point. I mean, I don't know if I really count Jay Crowder as like an important player on that team.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, that was just the only guy that they would talk. They would be like, oh, well, he's the only one with finals experience. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, but it was only like 6 games. I mean, what are you gonna really do with that?
So I said something on the stream the other day, yesterday, and I'm curious to hear what you think about it. I said my first prediction is Suns in 4, because the shorter the more recently this gets done, Giannis clearly isn't 100% healthy. So Suns in 4 or Bucks in 7. You think that's like a cowardly take or no?
I mean,
just say yeah.
Maybe could be. I mean, listen, I don't know. The Bucks have really surprised me with the teams that they've beat this year, most specifically just how they like handled the Nets. I know Kyrie didn't play, but like I was really just kind of surprised that they really handled the Nets because I thought that they were not going to get past the Nets, but they did. And I mean the Hawks did actually put up a fight against them, and they only really went down when Trae Young couldn't play. Although Giannis didn't play the last couple games of that series, and the Bucks still won without him. I will say this though, I think the Bucks can win this series. The problem is it's going to be depending on Giannis and his health because, you know, if Giannis has still got that bum ankle for like this entire series or this bum knee for this entire series, I'm going like I would say Suns in 4 is got a much better chance than Bucks in 7.
The only reason I think that it could be Bucks in 7 is because if the Bucks steal 1 and then they're extending this series, and because although he was playing, like I don't know if Giannis was giving everything he had, and if he is, then like he's got to work his way up to being more healthy. But like as this goes further on into July and he gets more and more rest, because you know the NBA, they love to drag this shit out. You know, we're just sneak in 2 days, 2 days in between games. Like every hour that they have off is advantage Giannis, an advantage that this team is trying to get healthy. And he's one of the best players in the entire NBA when healthy. So he is 100% a difference maker. And I that's the only reason why. Suns in 4 is cool to say. It's a cool idea. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like looking back, if it was actually Suns in 4, everyone would be pretty pissed off about this NBA Finals because since there's no super teams, it's super, two new fan bases. Like we would like to see an exciting series at least, maybe bring it down the memory books. But unless something happens, this series could be either really boring or really long.
I think it'll go towards the more like exciting end of it. Like I don't think it's gonna be like one of those like just blowout series because the Suns don't strike me as a team that's gonna really like destroy anybody, especially in the finals, because I think the Bucks are just too good to get like annihilated. Like realistically, I'm thinking Suns win in 6. I don't see it going 7, but if it does go 7, I think the Bucks have a real good shot. But I'm gonna say Suns in 6 as like my actual prediction. That's what I really think is gonna happen here.
Suns in 6. I like that. It'd be really cool. I mean, it'd be cool for that city. It looked like a fun atmosphere to be in. That game last night.
Definitely.
All right. What else we got? NHL fucking boring.
Oh my god. Lightning are just gonna come back home and win real easy.
Gentlemen sweep, a little bit of that.
Although one thing about the NHL, did you hear about that that goalie for the Blue Jackets? I got hit in the chest with a firework and just died. That shit was crazy.
Dude, yeah, fireworks are fucking crazy. I think that maybe, first of all, New Yorkers are skewed because of like fireworks aren't legal here. So when they do happen, it's when you do hear them, it's like more of like oh shit, where's that? Like what's gonna happen? And then like you hear the fireworks, and then 30 seconds later you hear the sirens, and like it's not like that. Yep. It's not like that here. And because of what happened to JPP, he was a New York fucking Giant star, and that started a crazy, that Schefter got in some hot water for the HIPAA violations, and then the pictures went viral and all that shit. So I think New Yorkers have a little bit of a different tail towards it, but yeah, fireworks are fucking dangerous, dude. Like real dangerous. It's really fucking sad too.
Yeah, no, like that's crazy, especially since he wasn't even the one like doing them. Like if he was the one doing them, I'd be like, the risk involved with like doing that stuff. But if you're not even doing them like yourself, then that's just fucked up. Like the whole JPP thing, I was so mad when he blew up his hand because I was like, dude, you are like, you are one of the best players in the NFL right now. You won a Super Bowl for the Giants. You had this incredible year as a DN. You're on the track to be like the next Michael Strahan, and you blow up your hand with a firework. Like, what the hell are you doing lighting up fireworks by yourself or on your own. That just made no sense to me.
And the craziest part about it is now that like he got kind of like ostracized from New York, and he's going to have like he's went on to he's a Super Bowl champion now.
Oh yeah, no. Now he's in Tampa and won another Super Bowl with them. It's like okay.
He gets a cool glove. He gets to tell some. He's got a cool party trick, and now he's got Super Bowl champion. I think did he get one with the Giants or no? Was he on that?
Yes, he did.
The second team. So he's gonna get two.
2011. He might
have more rings than fingers.
He was a big part. He was a big part of 2011.
Yeah. So when the firework thing, it's a little bit different, but yeah, you leaving New York, it's a very different world. I guess I'll kind of we'll wrap up with a little bit of this, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my 24 hours with Trey.
Yes. How was that?
Well, it was good. I think like I was probably nervous for like the first like 30 seconds because it's like holy shit, like it's the first time I don't normally like converse with like random people on the internet. And although Trey's not like random, like I never met him, like we've never been in the same state before at the same time. So like the fact that I was just like I had driven 2 hours was like go hang out with some guy, like we chat every now and then. I was like I had one moment of realization, and then I was like fuck it, like whatever, it is what it is. And then it was good. We went out to Outback. To be honest, I'm kind of fucking pissed at him because he wouldn't let me buy anything, and that was annoying. He had me out. He had me out there, and he wouldn't even let me buy a fucking meal. That was annoying, and I made sure he knew that the entire time. He talks about going to the gym a lot, but first of all, gyms out in Pennsylvania, Anthony, are nothing like the gyms here, dude. This thing was in a fucking strip mall. It had a movie theater. So we walk in. We went to this place called The Edge, right? First of all, it's in a fucking strip mall. I don't know are you familiar with the sports club like in Ardsley, the one right off the Sawmill? How it's like next.
Yes.
Yes. So it's like it's pretty much like a closet. Like it's on the top of like a parking garage. It's in like a weird ass strip mall. This one is in like a real mall, like something like the Palisades you walk into. Like it's got like Target's own entrance, 2 floors. Must have had like 150, 200 pieces of equipment. And then you walk in, and there's this gigantic sign that says Edge Cinema. I go, Trey, why does your gym have a movie theater? I don't know. I've never been in that. All right. Didn't really think much of it. Walk around. And then I also met producer Alex. He lives with Trey. And so we all came in together. And then I asked Alex about it. He goes, dude, go look. You walk in, it's a full fucking movie theater. But instead of chairs, it's like different rows of cardio equipment. And they have a schedule outside and of different movies each day. And I guess they just run on 24-hour loops, or just the gym. They have a 24-hour gym. So like I think it was like Jurassic Park or some shit when I was there. Like it's pitch black. Like it's just a movie theater with nice AC. It's just different breed. When you be in New York, it's a different world. We miss out on a lot of shit.
The gyms here are just like a 200 by 200 foot sweat box would just
you could have fit 15 of the gyms I used that I have it here on like pretty much like one floor of like one fraction of that place, like insanity. And I was like, do you guys ever have to wait for equipment? And they're like, sometimes it gets packed, but those people like they there's different types of gyms. I go to like a community center one, so it's not like super intense, but like I was in like a weightlifting gym, and you could tell because like they have to have like fucking signs like no slamming weights, no yelling. Like it was like one of those like hardo gyms.
Oh my god,
I was intimidated. But fucking Trey moved a lot more weight than me, so that pissed me off. My arms are still fucking sore. That was yesterday. Like lifted like probably 27 and 28 hours ago, and I still can't feel my arms. That's annoying. It's a good workout, but yeah, it was interesting. He smoked me in some video games. Listen to this. He would not play me in Madden. He claims that he would beat me 77-0 and it wasn't even worth either of our times to turn on the game. Like, wouldn't do it.
Really?
I was pissed.
I don't know. That sounds to me like somebody's a little scared.
Try. You heard him. I'm down for a rematch. I'm down for a rematch. I mean, he took me in FIFA. FIFA I haven't played in like 7-8 years. I didn't get shut out in that, so I was happy with that. We played the show on like a 65-inch TV, so my timing was all off. I lost in that.
Yeah.
And then I got him in shell that I was happy about. I couldn't lose that.
Okay. At least you got him in shell. That's the most important one.
He didn't have a 2K. That would have been like, that would have made it 2-2 the series, and then we would have had to play Madden. And I think I'm pretty good at Madden too, but he was like, no chance. He wouldn't even entertain it.
I mean, like, I used to play Madden like a lot. I'm trying to think what year it was. I was really Madden 2017. I was so into Madden. Like, I was like all about playing Ultimate Team and shit. Like, I would just go online constantly. Not like I'm saying like I was crushing kids, but like I won a lot of games. Like, I was pretty good at Madden at some point. I mean, when you play a game every day, you're just good at it. Like 2K, I played 2K like I'm talking like full pro am team for like 5 years in a row. So
you still
I'm not gonna lie like to you. Someone playing me in 2K.
You still play 2K like that or no?
Like
I grinded 20.
Not so much this year.
I was a nice center in 20.
You grinded 20 like this year. Well, like this year, I played up until I got to a 99. We started doing, really well. Like, got used to the game, started winning a lot. But then the problem was like we just got super bored. Like, you just got like that's what 2K is every year for me. Like, it just gets to the point where it's like it's so boring because like me and like I would have a full squad of 5 and like we would just go in and like honestly win like 4 or 5 games a night and it would just be super boring. I'm like, can we just like play something else?
Dude, that anti-up system they got, that in the cages, that shit's fun. That shit is fun.
Yeah, I do like. What did I like a lot? I liked when you would be playing like park games like 3v3s and like it was like glow in the dark like settings. I thought that was cool, even though I couldn't really see the ball.
Can't see so that shit. Was a bit of a struggle,
but it was alright. No.
Anything else? Anything to close out the show? I mean, next week we're gonna get a guest. It's either gonna be one of our wrestling friends or someone from the site. We're still figuring it out. Still trying to make things work. Make sure you follow those socials. Empire's Finest with the 1 and the Empire is the Twitter. And the 1 and the Finest is Instagram. We're gonna start getting some clips out. Start doing some stuff. All right, we're gonna do a giveaway. We'll workshop it right now. How many followers on each account do we need to do a giveaway? Our first giveaway. We can do multiple.
What'd you say? Maybe when we reach 50?
We've had 50 on both.
Or is that
50 on both, and we'll do our first one. That's one raffle.
Yeah.
And we get to 100, we'll do another raffle, and then for every 100 after that, we'll do 2. So, try and get it up there. Take a little trick out of the all day everyday show. That was their move. It worked. Hopefully, we don't have some trouble finding our winners like they did. But yeah, that's the other thing I want to say. Obviously, you're most likely listening to this on YouTube or on Spotify, whatever that is. But if you're on Spotify, go check out our YouTube page, Vendetta Sports Media. We have like 5 or 6, 7 like really good shows. I was listening to Tandemonium before we started recording today. First of all, there was just they do a very different show than I do. And I respect the hell out of Brian for being able to handle the topics and like talking about the topics that he does. And Jackson and Courtney, they do a great job. But like, they were talking about like the Rachel Nichols thing today, and like I can't talk about that. I don't know what anything is. I don't know what those situations are like. But so whatever you want, like we have a variety of great content on the Vendetta Sports Media, whether it's sports stuff, video game stuff, podcasts. We've been putting a lot of effort into our Twitch, so twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. If you have Amazon Prime, go subscribe there. But We got a lot of great content nowadays. It's been fun to be a part of, and this is like kind of our dead time too. Just wait until football.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, listen, football is a whole different animal. Especially, I know Adam, especially for me too. Football is one of the things I get like super crazy into. I'm doing like you'll see, I'll be having betting picks like for every single game almost. Like it's going crazy. And then especially if the Giants are good, you should watch out for me. I could either get really annoying or you really like me, depending on what side of the fence you're on.
All right, before we close out, before we end the show, we're talking about the Jets and the Giants. I just recently did so for those of you who don't know, one of our first sponsors at Vendetta Sports Media is Symbol. They are like essentially like a sports stock market. You can invest in teams that you like. So what we've been doing is we've been breaking down the teams, Garrett and I. But so next up, the Jets and the Giants were up, and I want to hear your take on this. They are both roughly around $40 a share. I'll actually pull up the exact numbers right now.
40?
Yeah, 40.
I have the Giants at like 28. So
there you go. There you go. All right,
that's what I do. Set it and forget it. All right, nice. Okay.
So the Jets are 42.07. The Giants are 40.23. Give me your thoughts on that. The Jets are more expensive than the Giants.
Yeah, I think that is. I think the Giants. If that's the case, the Giants should be a hot buy because, I mean, I'm sorry, but the Giants were just built to have a better season this year. Like the Jets have got you got a rookie quarterback. I mean, like it's not like the Jets are going to be steamrolling the competition. Like I expect them to go I expect them to get like 4 or 5 wins probably, and have a nice draft pick and keep improving. But the Giants, this is a make or break year. My honest prediction, I think the Giants are going to be like 10-7. To be honest with you, I think the Giants are undervalued. Yep, 10-7. You heard it here first. 10-7. NFC East champs.
That's a great symbol return. If they get 10 wins, that's $5 you get back in your account with their dividends.
Which is why I believe that you should easily go in there and buy yourself some Giant shares.
All right, since we're doing the symbol stuff, and I'm sure they're gonna post this or we'll get this out there somehow. But the NFL market is so inflated right now that there's only 2 teams. There are only 5 teams under $40. Meanwhile, you go to the MLB, and there's let me just do this one more time. There are 2 teams over $40. So, in my opinion, your value is in the MLB team. Stack up those dividends, get another team before football. But on the Giants note, I think so. The NFL market keeps going up, like it's been going up because, like you said, when Vendetta first partnered with them, the Jets and Giants were both around like $20 a share. That was
those were both exactly. I think the Jets were like 19.
Exactly. Yeah, so now that they're so far up, if you think that they're gonna continue with this trend like you do, my play was maybe you sneak around, you got this Giants at $40, but then once Daniel Jones sucks and you get a new quarterback and you start the whole process over with Joe Judge, championship teams have quarterbacks and rookie deals. That is the play. If you're thinking about buying the Giants, that's your hope. Is that you have to just hope that Daniel Jones isn't the guy. Gettleman's out, Jones out, Judge stays, new quarterback, winning championships. Because defense still plays.
Defense still plays, and you got the pieces on offense already there. Just need a quarterback.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Empire's Finest. Again, myself, Adam Krieger, 1997. My left, your right, at ant_font1. Empire's Finest on Twitter and Instagram. You can find it with the ones. You'll figure it out. I said it a bunch of times. I appreciate you guys listening. Anthony, appreciate you guys listening. If you're watching on YouTube, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Help us grow. Help us get better. And then, stay tuned for giveaway number 1. $50 each. Or 50 followers each.
50 followers each.
And then we have Empire vlog to plan soon as well. So stay on the lookout. We'll have to get that done We're gonna get that. I'm saying that right now on air, so we can lock this in. We're getting it done before the end of July. We're both busy, man. It's hard,
100%.
It's hard to plan it out.
Yeah.
End of July, you will have the video on the Vendetta Sports YouTube page. All right. Again, that's going to do it. Empire's Finest. Thank you guys for listening.